What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Another episode of Bringing the Business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your boy BC.
It's Nick right here.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Man, bro.
We got a lot to cover, man.
A lot to unpack, man.
Yeah,
especially with everything going on, and man, we just been MIA, man. Just sickness and stuff, man. I ended up getting a little cold and stuff, so man, it's been. And then I went out of town and everything, so that kind of pushed us back too. But hey, we back at it.
We back at it. We back in full effect, baby. We back in full effect. Hey, man, I got a question.
Go ahead. What's up?
Did you see what Isiah been saying?
Now I haven't seen the recent comments, but you know, of course, he been going back and forth with Mike for, you know.
So this past week he was on one of the shows, man, and this is after the All-Star weekend when Mike was all over the place, and you know what I'm saying, everybody was big up in Mike and everything. He ended up coming on the show like a couple of days later, and he was talking about Mike and saying that right now he got Mike number 3.
Okay. Well,
behind LeBron and behind Kareem. He said that Mike didn't beat Bird and them. First of all, he said Mike never beat Bird. He said Mike didn't beat Magic and them when Magic and them was Lakers, when they was the Showtime Lakers or when they were whatever. And he trying to say Mike didn't beat him when he was in his prime. And he's saying that he beat everybody. He beat Mike, he beat Bird, he beat Magic. Which he did.
Man, you can't argue the fact that he didn't beat him, but how can you say so? So basically, what Isiah saying is Mike beat everybody on the decline.
Right, or didn't beat him at all, because he didn't beat Larry. He never beat Larry.
Okay, but my thing is with that, that's not. They are two different. The Celtics in the East.
Right.
The Celtics are in the East. What they got to do with Mike though? If they never met up,
but they met up early.
Yeah, they met up early.
Mike, what was that? Mike's second year? Remember Mike gave?
He had no team then.
Right.
So I mean, even with Isiah had to have a team to even accomplish stuff that he accomplished. So, I mean, my thing, and I hate to say this because Isiah is a Chicago native, but it's just that ongoing. They old though, man. They like what? Mike about to turn what?
Mike just turned 59 about a week or two ago, and so Isiah a couple years older than Mike. So Isiah got to be about 62.
About 60 something.
So, yeah, something like that. You know what I think? I think Isiah is mad that Mike came and took his city.
But you in Detroit though, so what difference does it make?
Isiah he's Chicago, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's true, but at the end of the day, he wasn't playing for Chicago. So you playing for Detroit, of course we gonna embrace Mike because he's playing for the Bulls. And then when you one of the greatest players to ever play the game, what you expect? So we gonna say, forget Mike and all he accomplished because you from Chicago? Like, nah, bro, like.
And then I think Isiah kicked it off, didn't he? Remember they tried to freeze Mike out the All-Star game?
That and when Detroit lost,
he didn't shake his hand.
They walked that's what kicked everything off, really, right there. Mike didn't honor the fact that, look, y'all whooped our tail all these years, and every time, hey, we took it like men.
And then when y'all lost.
Right, y'all want to walk out, duck your head down and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, be poor sportsmen. So he took it like, man, I'm good. I think he got a legitimate, you know, reason for doing what he did. He have a legitimate reason to feel the way he feel about Isiah. But Isiah, regardless of the way Mike feel about the situation, you can't take away from what Mike accomplished in his career. You know what I'm saying? You can't throw him down the list because you don't want to honor him because some type of old man feud or rivalry that y'all got going on that happened back in y'all playing days. Like, that's crazy to me.
So let me ask you this. If you did just go back, I'm pulling it up now.
Mm-hmm.
If you did just go back and look at the careers, right?
Of Isaiah and Mike?
No. We already know.
Oh, okay.
We already
I'm
know
saying,
Isaiah
no
is.
context.
We already know Mike better than Isaiah. But like I said, he got him 3 behind LeBron and Kareem, right?
Okay.
So he said that once LeBron passed Kareem, that's going to solidify LeBron as the GOAT. So I guess he's looking at it from a statistical standpoint, right? And okay, we'll get to the LeBron part of it because a lot of people, Mike and LeBron, that argument is whatever. Mm-hmm. Let's look at Kareem. Okay, Kareem won Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
6-time champion.
Okay.
6-time NBA MVP. 2-time Finals MVP. And he holds the all-time scoring list. His trophy case is
it's substantial.
Man, he got a nasty trophy case.
Yeah, absolutely.
So me personally, I always had Mike, then I had Kareem, then I had LeBron. But I recently just had LeBron kind of taking over Kareem.
Why is that
though? First of all, it's like LeBron is going to pass Kareem in the points.
Yeah. Okay.
Like when it comes to when it like the points that Kareem has scored or the way he leads the league, that's only regular season points. That's not including the playoffs. Right?
Right.
So right now, if you include the regular season and the playoffs, LeBron is the leader. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So and he's gonna pass Kareem. And LeBron is gonna have the chance to be the only player in history with 40,000 points. Because who's to say he's going to stop once he passes?
Right.
10,000 rebounds and 10,000 assists. Okay. That's great. And, 4-time champion right now. What? 4-time MVP, I believe? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? So his resume is nice, man. And Kareem got a nice resume.
So my thing is like I always say, I'm not. So you talking about you gonna catapult LeBron after he accomplished those things, but as of right now, you still have Mike, Kareem, and LeBron, right? Until he accomplished the.
Me personally, I got LeBron number 2.
How you put him number 2?
I'm trying to think. It was something that happened that made me catapult. I don't know if it was the last championship. I think it was the last championship, to be honest.
But Kareem got 6.
I get it, LeBron. But from a statistical standpoint, besides the points, LeBron gonna have him in everything else.
Going to. That's what I said. I mean, my thing is I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is you can't put him there.
So you saying wait a minute?
Yeah, you gotta wait till he surpasses him. Then once he surpasses him, then he jumped and then Kareem jumped down. Oh well,
so right now, so is that your order, Mike, Kareem, LeBron?
Yeah,
that's your order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now they just when they did the 75 the other day. They kind of ESPN, I believe it was, ranked the players, and I think Magic was like that 4th. Do you agree with that?
Oh, that's tough.
I believe Magic.
All 75.
Yeah, I believe Magic was like that 4th.
Hey, that's tough.
So who would you put that 4th?
That's tough because. Man, you could argue Kobe. You could argue.
Well, they had Kobe like 12.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
something stupid like that. Man.
You could argue Kobe. You could argue Oscar Robertson. Who else? Man, that's tough.
I think Kobe was like 12th or 10th or something like that.
With
Shaq wasn't even in the top 10. They had Duncan in front of Kobe. They had Bird in front of Kobe. Magic in front of Kobe.
I think
Bill Russell was in front of Kobe. I think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, you have to probably do Kobe, Oscar, you got to put Will. Shit, Will might have to be number 5 or something, either 4 or 5. It's tough, though, man. There's so many great players.
Okay, so what, I got a question about Will.
Okay.
Wilt was an athlete, bro.
Right.
Like, he was a track star, long jumper, all that. Wilt was an athlete, a major athlete. But how much do you think it was the era he played in that made him so good?
It was the era he played in because the game. If you watch the game back then and now, it wasn't as skilled as it is now. Like Wilt scored a lot of points, but
nobody was his size.
Yeah, nobody his size, and if I'm not mistaken, like he wasn't like dribbling the ball, like you know what I'm saying. Like the game just like it's skilled as it is now. So it's the era, but you can say that about a lot of players back in the day. Like when I was watching that the Ultimate Draft, and they was doing like the highlights and stuff. You can tell most of these dudes dribble with one hand. You know what I'm saying? Like
Bob Cousy them dribble like this and all that.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, it's the era. That's why it's so hard to gauge this stuff, man.
I always said, and I'm respecting Wilt and his athletic ability and the athlete that he was, right? But I always said that if Wilt played in the 90s, when you had the great centers of Patrick Ewing, Olajuwon, Shaq, Moore, and all them guys, Wilt would have been David Robinson. Because David was David was athletic as hell, bro.
But here's the thing. So if you just dropping him in this era with the same skill set.
Right.
See
he was athletic though.
He's super athletic, but it's just like with anything, like the different eras. Evolved. Yeah, the game evolving. So if you just dropping him from his era to the 90s, that's a disadvantage to him. Because he wasn't afforded the skill set and the training and stuff that these guys had. So it's like I feel like you kind of have to divide it in eras, which they don't do.
Because I'm gonna tell you somebody else I feel that way about. I respect what he did in the game that he played, but I think if he played in another era, he would be. I'm going to say his name first, and then I'm going to tell you who I think he would be, which is another great, but I don't think he'd be considered the great. And that's what I'm saying about Wilt. I think if you put Wilt in the 90s, he will be a great, but he wouldn't be
like one of the greatest.
The great, some people want to put him in the GOAT category. Right. All that 100 points and 50 points and 30 rebounds, all that stuff would happen. So that's why I say, like, David Robinson is one of the best that played in the game as far as the center position, but he's not the best. Or he's not considered the GOAT. And I think that's what Wilt would have been. I'm going to flip it to football. Okay. Jim Brown. I think Jim Brown would have been Jerome Bettis or I mean, you know what I'm saying? I just think Jim Brown was like ahead of his time. Like, that was, first of all, I just think us black men are just a little more athletic or a little more stronger in stature and everything. So he was a black man that was already, you know what I'm saying? And he was super talented.
So you just dropped somebody in.
You dropped Jerome Bettis in the 5th. Wasn't Jim Brown playing the 60s or something? Yeah, in the 60s. Yeah. You dropped Jerome Bettis in the 60s.
Oh yeah.
This is what you gonna get.
Yeah, you gonna get.
Steven Jackson. Remember the running back Steven Jackson? He played for the Rams. Yeah. You dropped him in the 60s.
But here's the thing though with that. So you saying his talent was above the talent that they had in the league at that particular time. So he just happened to excel more because his talent level, or no, not his talent level, his athleticism and his strength.
Because he was good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying he would have just been an average player. Like, I think he would have been a great player or a good player. Right. You know what I'm saying? A Hall of Fame player. But that super wild stuff that he was doing back then and stuff, I'm not sure if that's going to fly if you put him in the 80s or the 90s or whatever is what I'm saying.
I mean, but you know what?
Wilt Chamberlain was averaging 50 points and 30 rebounds. And that's not going to happen, bro.
But I think the comparison between football and basketball is a little, it's a little different because if you just a good running back, I believe with the proper blocking and stuff like that, you're gonna kill in whatever era you in. You know what I'm saying? If he was just athletic and he was quick and he was a good back, I don't care what era you drop him in.
I agree, but I don't think he's doing that crazy stuff that he was doing back then is what I'm saying. I think he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna be great in any era. I think Jim Brown was that
That's what I'm
athlete
saying.
that's gonna be great. But I don't think he's gonna just like dominate. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watch some old films of Jim Brown, he was just like plowing over people. Like they were literally like just bouncing off him and all that. I don't think you're gonna get that.
I mean, no, you're not. You're not. But that goes back to what we were saying. Each era evolves. So of course.
But you have some players, and you're right. Every era evolves as a whole, but you have some standout players in each era.
Right.
And he's one of them. Like he was an exceptional athlete in that era.
Yeah. So you trying to say pretty much that in his era he's considered a great, but in another era down the line he would just be considered a good back.
He'd have been considered a great anywhere, but in his era he's considered the greatest. Like if you take his numbers and stuff that he did in his era,
he's the greatest in his era.
He's the greatest of all time.
In his era.
He's the greatest. Like if you take Wilt Chamberlain numbers, right?
Right.
And if you just say, I'm going to line his numbers up with Shaq numbers, he's swallowing Shaq numbers.
Yeah, I mean.
You know what I'm saying? So if you just take him for what he did in his era, he's a GOAT.
Right.
But I think if you take him and you put him in another era, he's not the GOAT, but he's a great.
Right. He's still a great player though.
Right.
I mean, I can feel, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just think he's a great instead of the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying though. Like we sit here and debate it, but I think that's unfair to them because you play with the hand that you dealt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta play who in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, so if I'm dominating you, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, I'm not going. So I'm dominating you. Like, well, you dominating because it was back in the '70s. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Hey. That's when I was born. I can't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? I was born in the 70s, so everybody in the 70s, I whooped their ass. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So you know how they say the athletes evolve, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Athletes evolve, right? You agree? We all agree. We know that. Athletes are bigger. That stuff that Sam Donald does now is exciting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I get it, and I agree, right? But if the athletes evolve and the athletes are bigger, faster, stronger, whatever like that, in the NBA, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So that means it trickles down. So if the athletes are better in the NBA, that means the athletes are better in college.
Mm-hmm.
You agree?
Yeah.
So that means the athletes are better in high school.
Yeah.
Right? So that means the athletes are better at the YMCA or at your local health club.
I mean, see, that's tricky though.
Because let me ask my question before you go into your answer.
Go ahead.
So you mean to tell me if the athletes are so much better and faster, quicker, stronger, so when do you consider yourself? We grew up playing basketball and everything. Mm-hmm. When do you consider your best basketball state?
As an individual?
Yeah, you. Like your YMCA days, your health club day, whatever.
For me, I want to say my best days for me was probably in my 20s.
Okay. So 20 what?
Let's say 26.
Okay.
Something like that.
So 26-year-old Nick can't play in the YMCA today?
Yeah, he could, but he'd be a lot slower. You know what I'm saying?
So you think 26-year-old Nick will be slower than a 26-year-old today?
Wait, ask the question again.
Do you think that 26-year-old Nick, if you took 26-year-old Nick,
okay,
and you took him from back in the day, and you put him in the YMCA today, against 26-year-olds and everything, you're not gonna hold your own, or
I still hold my own, but here's the difference. The difference between playing rec ball and playing AAU ball, playing, competitive high school, college is the amount of training and specialized training that you get. That's what exceeds you over most people. So you might have people that's in YMCA that's cold, but once you start getting that specialized training, that excels you above a YMCA player or a person that you see that just do pickup games on Sundays. it's a different type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the more you know, the more specialized training you get, the more technique you know, you better than that. You know what I'm saying?
So when you say specialized training, right? Because what I kind of picked up from YMCA, from AAU basketball, right? And so they told me that AAU, they play a lot of games, but they don't do a lot of practice. You know what I'm saying? And then I see like the fundamentals of the game are not taught the same as they were back in the day. I watched a game last year. Washington Wizards was playing the Denver Nuggets. Okay, did I send you that?
You might have.
I might have sent you that because I just had this conversation with somebody about a week or so ago. The Denver Nuggets was playing the Washington Wizards. It was the end of the game. It was about 10 seconds left in the game, maybe a little less. Okay. They got the rebound. Jamal Murray somebody got the rebound, passed out Jamal Murray. They were on a 4-on-1 break.
Oh yeah, all of them went to the.
And all of them went to the 3-point line.
Yeah.
They was down 2 points.
Yeah, all of them went to the 3-point.
They was down 2 points.
Yeah.
So by the time they got down there, it was probably like 5 seconds to go, 5 seconds to go. They down 2 points, and everybody ran to the 3. So you remember when we was playing grammar school, high school, whatever, they show you the 3-man weave or the layup drill or the fast break drill. You push the ball in the middle of the floor and you hit the, you know what I'm saying? And the defender is to stop the ball.
Right.
The defender stopped the ball at the 3-point line. Nobody ran to the basket for an easy layup.
Yeah.
So is the game better or what?
The game, you know what? I'm gonna have to agree with you to the point of saying that I don't like the way the game is played because it's really predicated off of how many shots you can
Analytics.
get. Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah, analytics. How many shots you can get up, you know what I'm saying? And it's 3 is better than 2. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way the game is played now. But like you said, back in the era where, you know, you had Mike and them, you still had 3-point shooters, but it was more of a fundamental game. It was a tough game, but it was a fundamental game. Now it's just, I'm not saying it's not fundamental. But here's the thing, I tell people this all the time. That's why I like watching women basketball.
They still stick to the fundamentals.
They still fundamentally sound. You know what I'm saying? If you watch, I'm telling you, anybody who watched this, watch your WNBA game. Watch some of these college games for these females. They are fundamentally sound. They play the game the right way. And ain't none of that flashy stuff. You may have a couple people that could, you know, do it for a couple flashy things, but for the most part, they play the game the right way. That's what we're missing because I ain't gonna say the game is fun to watch as far as the men are concerned. You got the dunking and all that. It's fun to watch, but like you said, the fundamentals of the game is really going away because it's more about analytics and how many shots you can get up. 3 is better than 2, and that's where the game is going now.
So do you think if we can go get Jerry Sloan passed, didn't he?
Jerry Sloan did pass.
He passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can go dig up Jerry Sloan and we tell him, look here, I'm gonna give you 2 players of the caliber of Stockton and Malone.
Mm-hmm.
And we want you to run that pick and roll today. Do you think he can win today?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Why?
Because just the way the game is now, I really don't think so. To be honest with you, bro, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The game just played different. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different game. So even if you did the pick and roll and the pick and pop, you know what I'm saying, you still gotta deal with the fact that you can't defend them the same way that you defend them back then. Because they can come down, you can't touch them no more. So every time you picking and popping, they coming down shooting 3s. So you gotta damn near not miss your pick and roll, your pick and pops. You know what I'm saying? You slip screen.
It's no bigs like that in the paint, defending the paint. So just take a player like Karl Malone. I can get to the basket at will now.
Yeah, but can you step out beyond that 3-point line? That's
so you don't think him stepping out at that midi is enough?
No, not only that. You talking about just offense. I'm talking about is he mobile enough and agile enough to cover that 3-point line? Because
on the defensive end,
because think about it. I mean, I'm not saying he was good.
Okay, let's look at the power forwards today.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Draymond Green, Anthony Davis, Greek Freak,
right?
So you don't
Carmelo can stick nothing.
You don't think so?
Oh no sir.
You don't think so?
Dude, Greek Freak will cake that, but he'll cakewalk him, bro. There's no way he can stick. He can't stick him in the Kupo, dude. He can't stick him.
So, but you got to remember, Karl Malone used to run like a deer.
Bro,
So what are they doing on the other end?
I mean, he'll keep him in that paint and he'll sauce him up, but the Kupo got too much size.
So Elijah Wan can't guard nobody today. David Robinson can't guard nobody today.
David Robinson can guard him in the paint.
David was athletic as hell.
Bro, I'm trying to say
the Dream was athletic as hell.
I'm not saying. I mean, I get that, bro. But you talking about these dudes dribble the ball like guards, bro. That's just like saying David Robinson can stick Mike. That's like you saying David Robinson can stick Kobe. These guys can dribble the ball like they skill set as far as their dribbling ability is. Dude, Giannis can take damn near 3 steps and be at the goddamn rim for a dunk, bro. Like off a fast break. Like it's just different, bro. I'm sorry, like.
So are you telling me Giannis is better than Karl Malone? Are you telling me Giannis is better than the King Olajuwon?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Karl Malone can't guard Giannis.
But Giannis can guard Karl Malone.
I mean, I'm not saying he could. He'd make it tough for him. I'm not saying Karl Malone won't score on him. Of course, he'd score on him. But
man, you'd open up a whole nother can of worms.
Karl Malone can't stick Giannis, bro.
So, so where does it stop at in your opinion? So you saying like the Karl Malones and the Charles Barkleys them can't, but can the Kevin Garnett's and the Tim Duncans? Because them 2 different eras, so to speak.
Okay. Can they stick who?
Can they play today? Can the Chris Webbers?
Yeah.
And all them
absolutely, they can play today. Most definitely.
But Karl Malone and Barkley and them can't.
Barkley is a different story, but only reason I say Barkley couldn't I'll say this. Barkley would be good because Barkley, to me, is like a Draymond Green in our era right now. Barkley was 6'4", playing power forward.
But he played with paint.
He played, but he could dribble the ball, though. That's one thing people don't know about. I mean, people don't, if you got to go back and watch this game, Barkley could take the ball off the rebound and go to the length of the court off the dribble. I'm not saying like he wasn't putting it between his legs and crossing people over, but he had a nice little handle on him. So you could drop Barkley in this era right now.
But you said Karl Malone, no.
You could drop him in this era. He would do his business low post. Yeah. But could he stick outside? No.
See, but you got to think of a younger Karl Malone when he was not as bulky and everything like that.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like it was a different Karl Malone, so to speak.
I just still feel like if he's trying to get through screens and dude, look how the game is played now. You trying to get through screens and you following people off the screen, you know what I'm saying? You chasing people all around the court. Nah, man, he ain't sticking no. Because you talking about him sticking Kevin Durant. It's over. You know what I'm saying? He's not sticking Kevin Durant.
But on the flip side, Kevin Durant is having a hard time with Karl Malone.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because Karl Malone put him in the paint. So I'm not saying that it's not a thing where Karl Malone wouldn't be able to get his points. Karl Malone be able to get his points because, especially if you got Stockton, he got a good point guard. He'll get his points. But I'm just saying, if you drop him in this era and think that he's gonna dominate on both ends, no, it's not happening. It'd be terrible for him.
Now, what you think about these Bulls, man?
So, like I was saying to you, I didn't want to give up nobody.
Right.
Didn't want to give up nobody because I feel like this is a team that, and I ain't gonna say I hate to say this, but after all the years of guard packs messing this up, they constructed a nice, well-built team.
You can't say they, because they got the GM came in.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what, not guard packs.
Right.
Also with the new GM and everything, they finally put together a well, built team.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to break that up. And then you got people under contract, so it's like, okay, let's see where this go without throwing pieces away, because we can make the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, anything after that, but adding Tristan Thompson, bro, that's a game changer.
And I always said we need an active big.
Yeah, we need an active big.
Because you got to go through Giannis.
Yeah.
You got to go through Giannis. And I watched Phoenix struggle with Giannis last year, but then this year come back with JaVale McGee to add with Aiden, Bismack, Biyombo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They went and got some big bodies.
Yeah.
You remember back in the day, the Bulls used to have all them weak ass centers.
Yeah, but
just for
big
them,
bodies. Yeah.
Just for them 6 fouls.
Yeah.
For them big bodies, just to
Will
lay on,
Winston,
just to lay on Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Or lay on, you know what I'm saying, somebody that we had to see.
Yeah, I hate these names like they ain't good players though, like
I
Stacey
mean,
King
they were, and then even at the end of the bench, we had remember we had Robert Parrish at the end.
Yeah.
We had Big Buddha Edwards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had them big bodies just to, I need a foul real quick. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and lay on Patrick real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you needed that with, you know what I'm saying, to go with Vucevic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying even if it was a deal out there, don't make a deal because it's like, let's grow this team.
That's what I've been saying.
But you gotta watch this though.
Go ahead.
The window closes so fast.
Why do you feel like that, though?
Think about it. We thought we had a window with an early Rose.
Okay.
That window closed. Okay, we got another one again with Jimmy and them developed and all that. We had Dunleavy and them and Powell and all that, right?
I don't think we had a window. Once Derek got hurt, that window was closed. I don't care what nobody say. Even with a Jimmy, up and coming Jimmy.
So when we went and got, because remember the first time we had Bogan and them at the 2
Yeah.
So you don't think when Derek came back and we had Rip and them and all that, you don't think that was a
We had a
window?
chance, but it's just the fact that it wasn't the same roles no more.
Right.
Once it wasn't the same roles no more, that window opportunity was gone. That was it for us. Once he got hurt and he didn't come back the same, door was closed.
So what do you think about the people? Okay, fast forward 2017, 18, 19, whatever that was, when LeBron got to LA.
Okay.
He shipped all them Ingram and Randall and Lonzo and get all them out of there, right?
Right.
And brought in AD.
Right.
Right? So it's either sit back there and let them young players develop, right? And take a chance of never getting a championship, but waiting, or bring AD in and get one.
But here's the thing with that.
Now I get it that you got that one, and now it don't look like
Right. But my thing with that is this. This team right now, with as far as the Bulls is concerned, is showing promise. That team with the Lakers, when LeBron came there, didn't show no promise. Yeah. So it was nothing to say, look, I came here, I tried it with these motherfuckers, we gotta get these motherfuckers out of here so we can get some people in here, get AD in here, and surround us with a championship caliber team. So that was smart for them to do that. It's not smart to do that when you got a damn near 50-some win team that's going to go to the playoffs and they show chemistry, good defense, you know what I'm saying? Right now we're just not full strength. But a full strength Bulls team that added Tristan Thompson, you don't break that up. You don't mess that. That's why I said you don't break it up because a team healthy is a good team constructed.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just worried about the windows, man. Nowadays the windows closed. Yeah. Look at Brooklyn, man. They brought them 3 guys in there, man. They didn't even make an Eastern Conference Finals, bro.
Yeah, man. I hate talking about that.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't even make an Eastern Conference Finals, so it's like nothing is guaranteed. So it's kind of like if you can go get it right now, I'm going to get it.
But
bro.
a lot of that got to do with the players, though, man. I hate to say it, man, because I think he's a great player, but when you got a head case player, it's not gonna work.
Kyrie.
Yeah. And then it's even showing with Harden.
Harden got off today.
Yeah, man, but he do. The crazy thing is, he does it wherever he goes.
Yeah.
He went to Houston and got off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When he came to Brooklyn, he got off. You know what I'm saying?
In the playoffs, it's a difference.
It's not that he can't play. It's just like it's not that Kyrie can't play. It's the fact that when the chips come down, when there's something going on with them mentally, where they tap out. Yeah. That's the only thing.
I agree. But all them guys do that. I was just telling somebody that today. Harden does that.
Right.
Dame does that. Russ does that. Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, that Kyrie hitting that one shot, man, everybody just want to put him on this pedestal. You know? Even this gonna sound crazy. Steph don't go crazy in the moments, G. Steph, why you think Steph ain't got no finals MVP? Cause he hasn't gone bananas in the finals.
Yeah, that's true. You couldn't win it without him though.
Oh no, you couldn't.
But you're right. It's not like he was averaging 35 a game and killing. Because
even when that series when LeBron came back from 3-1, go look at Steph's numbers in that series. He had more turnovers than he had assists.
I ain't gotta look at the numbers. I watched the finals, so I already know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's true.
I look at a Dame Lillard. We know Dame got a burner.
Right.
Why is it that Russell Westbrook, who don't have a burner, has a better shooting percentage in the playoffs than Damian Lillard? How?
Pressure bust pipes, baby. That's all it is.
How?
Because when that pressure come on, it's a different story. It's a different story when that pressure come on. Some people step up to it, and some people crumble, man. That's all it is. You got to be able to.
That's a real saying when they say pressure bust pipes.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, the proof is in what we see. Like you said, Dame is a great player, but when that pressure get on, well, man, but he made a hell of a shot against OKC and sent him home though, bro.
And he got a couple of them in the playoffs. He did that against Houston some years back and all that type of stuff too. I agree.
So I mean,
Paul George got up in them playoffs. He get to shooting shit all off the side of the backboard and everything. Man. Come on, man, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What you doing?
I mean,
but I'm gonna tell you one though. You probably ain't gonna know it. You probably ain't gonna think this.
Okay.
And I gotta give credit to me arguing with a young boy.
Okay.
And young boy kind of bust my bubble, man. So Jay, man, I took a loss with this one. Man, go look at John Stockton in them finals, bro.
Look, so wait, why did Barkley
shoot a shot at him? Man stink in the finals.
Why Barkley shoot a shot at him on the draft?
What'd he say?
So somebody about to draft him or whatever, and then Barkley was like, he only show up for half the game.
Yeah. I didn't know that, boy. Young boy put me, you know what I'm saying? We remember Stockton. Man, young boy put me, man, go look at Stockton in the finals and all that. Now, I know part of it was the defense Mike and Scotty played. Yeah. But 8 points and 9 points and all, you know what I'm saying? And not throwing them crazy assist numbers and all that. I'm like, whoa.
So here's the difference though. And I mean, I'm not trying to take up a Stockton. Stockton at best was what, 6 feet?
Yeah, well, they got maybe 6'1". I think they got him listed, but I don't think he is.
Maybe 5'11", 6 feet. Bro, who's getting stuck at somebody who's 6'6", 6'7"?
Because even Ron Harper was on.
Ron. The thing is, we won 3 championships with no point guard, no starting point guard. Your 2 guards was 6'6", mm-hmm. Pippen was 6'7", Robin 6'9", and then your center was 7'2" or something like that.
Look longer than us. Yeah,
dude, it's impossible once you start locking down on defense and the way they was able to play defense back then. Of course, he went away because in this era right now, Will Stockton be able to get off now? Yes. Back then, no.
Some people say he's too slow now.
Well, I mean, okay.
He was crafty and all that.
But I mean, yeah, you know, he was slow, but I mean.
But all them guys who people say can play today, the Gary Paytons and all that, Jason Kidds and all, they give Stockton props though. They say Stockton was a tough cover for something.
Yeah, because he knew the game. Though. Yeah. That's what I tell people all the time. I tell my son this too. When you know the game, it's easier for you. Yeah. You make the game easier for you. You don't have to be super fast when you know the game. You know angles and all that, you know what I'm saying? The game, you make the game easy for you. And that's all Stockton did. It's just the fact that when you going up against somebody, that's just like you killing, right? If I get a guy that's 7 foot and I put him on my team, I'll say, okay, yeah, you killing now, huh? Now kill. Nigga, he's shutting you down. The only thing people gonna see is the fact that, man, he was killing the first couple games. You know what I'm saying? It's just a big difference.
Now, you know, we talked about that on the top 75. So they actually did 76 players.
Right.
Who do you think, if we wanted to round it off, let's make it an even number to go to 80.
Go to 80.
Who do you think, so we're not taking nobody off, who do you think 4 players that could be added? Now, I'm going to tell you mine, what I think, and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Okay, I actually got 3, and I'm struggling with that 4th one. My first one, I'm going to go to Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard got 3 defensive player of the year. Mm-hmm. He was 5-time first team, you know what I'm saying, all NBA. You know what I'm saying? Dwight Howard. I think Dwight Howard should be on that team.
Okay.
I think Vince Carter. And I'm going to say Vince because Vince scored 25,000 points. Vince, for like a 3-4 year stretch, if not more, Vince was the excitement in the league. Remember, Vince was getting the top votes for the All-Star game, and you know what I'm saying? Like we the highlight reel and all. I think Vince was important to the game in that way. And like I said, he scored over 25,000 points.
Okay.
I got Mutombo. Mutombo was a 4-time defensive player of the year. Him and Ben Wallace are the only 4-time defensive player of the year. Mutombo is an 8-time All-Star. I think like 3 or 4-time All-NBA. He's 2nd all-time in rebounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's tough.
Is it rebounds or blocks? I think it might be blocks. Don't quote me, but yeah, he either you know what I'm saying, 2nd all-time. I'll tell you in 1 minute, but I think it's blocks. Behind, because he's 2nd in blocks behind Olajuwon.
Okay.
Who's that 4th player? Well, first of all, tell me what you think about them 3 I named, or who would you put up there, and then who's that 4th player if you do agree?
I like Dwight. I just don't like the way his career just tail ended like that. I mean, but you can't knock his accomplishments in the beginning of his career. I mean, I just don't like it. Like now, it's just like he
goofy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You go from being one of the top players in the league to just like, you just out there just doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but you can't deny his numbers though. So, I mean, I want to say no, but then again, if you're just going strictly by his accomplishments and stuff he did in the beginning of his career, you got to put him there. You said Dikembe. I don't have a problem with Dikembe being on there. I don't have a problem with that.
What about Vince?
Now, I agree with you about him being the excitement of the league. But was he ever, other than in Toronto, was he ever your franchise player other than in Toronto?
No, because I think when he went to New Jersey, it was Jason Kidd team, right?
Right. So, I mean, of course, he scored points. He was in the league 20 years. So, he going to score points. So, I mean, if it was me, if you're going to put somebody on there, I'm going to say, I'm going to put Clay on there. I'm going to put Tracy McGrady on there.
Now, I'm going to tell you my issue with Clay. I looked at Clay.
You got an issue with Clay?
I'm just telling you what my issue with Clay. Besides the championships, Clay don't really like stand out as a basketball player, like as far as accolades go. Because think about it. And I looked at Clay earlier today. He a 5-time All-Star. He only made All NBA 2 times.
Okay.
And that's third team.
But I mean, some of that is a victim of the team that you own. Though.
So you
know
think
what I mean?
if Clay was in Orlando, he would be a superstar?
Yeah. Come on, man.
You think so?
You sharing the ball with somebody who shoot the ball just as much as you do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're gonna have to take I ain't gonna say a back seat, but your number's gonna hurt a little bit. That's just the same thing like when people try to, I hate to bring this up, but it's the same thing as trying to bring in comparison to Mike and Pip. I think for all intents and purposes that Pip had to take a back seat because that was Mike's team. You know what I'm saying? That I think his numbers suffered a little bit because of Mike.
So you think Clay would have been? You think Clay would have did what Reggie did?
Yeah. Absolutely. And he a better defender. Absolutely. His numbers gonna suffer because you got another top tier player on your team. So we can just bring that, even though we're not talking about that, you can bring it to a current situation with DeMar and Levine. DeMar is averaging more points than Levine because DeMar is more of a closer than Levine. So Levine has to take a back seat, so to speak. You know, now Levine getting his points, but who closing the game? You know what I'm saying? So when you got 2 superstar players on your team, even D-Wade had to tell LeBron, hey, you got to take this over. Did D-Wade numbers suffer? Did it decline? Yes. But he was cool with that because he understood this is what was going to take for us to win. It's the same thing with Clay. If you put Clay on another team, his numbers going to flourish. That's why I say yes. I'm going to put him in that that top. So if you just to add a 4th player, Clay got to be there.
So you say Clay.
Clay, he has to.
What about? I'm just throw some names out there. What about a Bernard King?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough because if I'm gonna take Bernard King, I'm taking out the White House.
What about a Kyrie Irving?
Not yet. No. Sorry.
What about Mitch Richmond?
No.
What about Mark Price?
No. Great point guard. Love him. No.
Tim Hardaway?
No. Not in the top. If you talking about the top 80, no. Are these great players? Yes. They are great players. But top 80, no. You could probably argue top 100. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to expand the list. But top 80, no.
So you okay with Vince Mutombo, Dwight, and Clay?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Like I said, Bernard was a beast, though. So if I had to take anybody off that list, it would be probably between Vince and Dwight. If I had to take anybody off that list to put Bernard there, it would be between Dwight. And I probably would say Dwight because I just hate how his career is going. You know what I'm saying? Like the tail end of his career.
I had an old head tell me the other day, Alex English. And I was like, well, that man scored 25,000 points.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of players like that.
It's a lot of players, though.
So yeah, we'll see. So we got a draft coming up real soon. Well, we gonna sit down and man, we're gonna get some GMs, man, and we're gonna do our own draft, man, and see how we can shake this thing up, man.
Hey, so look, okay, we doing our own ultimate. Are we using those 4 that we put?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to come up with.
Okay, so we're gonna use those 4.
That's why I was trying to come up with 4 players.
Okay, so we're gonna use those 4. So because you're gonna have eight GMs.
Right, so it's 10 players on each team.
10 players each team. Okay, I get first pick.
We gonna do a lottery.
I get first pick.
We're gonna do a lottery.
We're picking Mike, baby.
Hey, did you see in the one they did on TV? Dominique picked himself.
Yeah.
He said, "Man, I'm tired of getting disrespected and people not picking him where he's supposed to be, man."
Come on, man. Hey, did you see Jerry West say he's gonna pick him on the Lakers?
He was gonna pick who?
Dominique. He said he almost drafted him.
I missed that part. Nah,
Yeah, he said he was like, I almost drafted you, man. Dominique like, man, you
Who
should.
came out that year? Worthy?
I think they drafted Worthy.
Woo! Magic and Neat?
That'd have been sick, bro. That'd have been sick. Like for real.
Because he a better version of Worthy. And Worthy got a game. Worthy was cold.
Yeah.
But he a better,
James had that old man game.
Yeah,
though.
but he big game James, baby.
Yeah.
I challenge you. Go look up him in them playoffs. That's why they call him Big James,
Yeah.
Big game.
Yeah.
And I went back to check that boy out, man. He was tough. But I'm gonna tell you this before we get up out of here. Somebody who shouldn't be on that list, man. I don't know. Man.
On the 75?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you just said his name. Bill Walton, man. Bill Walton.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Man, he shouldn't be there, man.
Hey, Bill was a killer in Portland, baby. What
But
you
he
talking
only
about,
played,
man?
he only had 2 good years, bro. I know he got hurt, but he only had 2
Hey
good
man, Bill
years.
was a killer in Portland,
He
man.
only had 2 good
You
years.
couldn't do nothing with Bill in Portland.
They love putting that mark on that, man. They love all these lists. They love putting them. Now I understand why he made the Hall of Fame because he had a good college career as well. But look at this, bro.
That is funny.
Look at all his success. 77, right?
2-time champion.
But look at it though. 86, 86, he's coming off the bench with Boston, right? 77, 78.
Most valuable player.
Everything is in 77 and 78.
Man, but he still got accomplishments, man.
You see what I'm saying? Everything was in them 2 years. He had 3 good years. Look, everything was in 77, 78, and 86.
He got hurt, man. You can't.
That's true. I agree with you. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, all of his accomplishments came in 3 years.
But they saying had he not got hurt.
You can't do that, bro. You can't do
Had
that.
he not got hurt, baby.
So okay, if that's the case, Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
Grant Hill.
But no.
What about Grant Hill?
But you can't do that. You can't do that because they don't got his accomplishment. They ain't got the most valuable player. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got that. 2-time all defensive first team.
Everything was in them 2 years.
No, he got the NBA 6 man of the year. 86,
Everything
baby.
was in 77, 78, 86.
But
3
He
years.
came off the bench and did his thing.
Everything was in them 3 years, though, bro. He had a great year 77, 78, and then he had a 6-man year in 86.
Hey, man, leave Bill alone, man.
What about Derrick Rose? No?
To be on top 75? As much as I love Derrick Rose, man,
Grant Hill? No?
that's tough.
Okay.
That's tough.
So you want to stick with what we got?
We got to. Even though my heart want me to put Derrick Rose on there, but I would just do it because I'm a Derrick Rose fan, and I just keep it real with you. Like, if I had a wild card in our draft, I'd put Derrick Rose on my team, hands down. I think I will say this.
What about Tony Parker?
I like Tony Parker. I don't know. In the top 80, I would put Derrick Rose before that.
Was Tony Parker better than Ginobili?
Wow. That's tough. That's tough. You got me thinking now. Shit. Fuck, dude. Fuck. I want to say, was Tony better than Ginobili?
Yeah, like which one of them two, if you had to pick one of them two to go on there?
If I had to pick between them, just in general, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll pick Manu. I would. I would rather have Manu on my team than Tony Parker. Yeah, but that's just me. That's just me. I would definitely pick Manu over Tony.
All right, man. Another episode, man, of Bringing the Business. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff in store coming up, man. So, man, subscribe to the page, Bringing the Business YouTube page. Come holler at us on the Facebook page, Bringing the Business, man. And, man, just keep coming to check us out, man. We got some more interesting topics, and we're going to keep this thing going. Yeah,
man. We here. Look, hey, all I can say is we gonna keep trying to crank them out. You know, the more and more we, you know, like we live in an era where you got the pandemic and everybody getting sick, and we human just like everybody else, but we coming. We gonna be out here. We gonna keep these episodes coming. Keep good content, and you like I say, damn near every episode, the growth is gonna keep going and going. So.
And hit us up, man. Let us know what y'all want to hear us talk about, man, and everything like that. And we get on this show, man, and get it on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, the Facebook page, when we drop the YouTube, man, comment, let us know like what you think about what we talking about and what you want us to talk about, man. Just, also, hit the comments, man. Let us know. We talk about anything, bro.
For sure.
All right, man. Another episode, man. Holla at you, boy.
That's Peace out, y'all.